In this tutorial, we are going to have a look at some of the miscellaneous advanced search engine techniques that are available at the moment. Now, so far, we have been discussing the more conventional search engine optimization techniques. Now, let's take a look at some of the advanced techniques that can be used to increase our search engine rankings. Recently, Google has introduced a secondary index, also called the supplemental index. So what is the supplemental index or supplemental result? Sites that appear in Google's supplemental or secondary index are called supplemental results. The sites that appear in the supplemental results, Google places fewer restrictions on these than on the sites that are in the main index. Now, there are a few parameters, in fact, a number of parameters in a URL which might exclude a website from being crawled for inclusion in the main index. However, it could still be crawled and added to the supplemental index. Now we're going to take a look at this website www.phones-info.net. So I'm going to type the URL in the Google search box, not phones-info.net. Okay, so I have some results. I have pages from the website and other sites that include the term www.phones-info.net. Okay, let's take a look at some of them and see if any of these results appear in the supplementals. Okay, and here is one. As you can see here and here, these two results are coming from the supplemental index. It means these two websites, they are not in Google's main index, but they're in Google's secondary index. So why are these pages in Google's supplemental index? Now, there are many reasons that could have caused the page to slip into the secondary index. Obvious one is the duplication of content. If your website does not have original content, whatever you display on your website is taken from various other resources on the internet, then Google does not consider your website to be an important site. Another reason is that if you do not have enough content on the page, so if you just have a couple of links, one paragraph or two, one picture or two, and the rest of your page is blank, basically, if the page does not have a lot of information, then Google does not consider that page to be very important. Pushes it into the supplemental index. Content taken from other sites, too many query strings in the URL, data coming from database showing long URLs. So if the URLs are really long, and sometimes that can be a cause for getting results in the supplemental index. Last but not least, orphan pages. Orphan pages, we've discussed before, are basically pages that are not linked to any other page on your website. There's no way to get to these pages. So the task of a good search engine optimizer is to pull these pages out of the Google supplemental index and to the Google main index. How do we get about doing this? Now, the first thing we should do is that we should add more unique content to the website. The more content, the more unique content, the more quality content that we have on the website, the quicker it will get out of the supplemental index. Improve the site's overall link structure. Now, make the site easily navigatable. So make it easy to jump from one place to another in the website, every page should have the navigation structure on it, and it should be possible to go to the main page or any other section of the website from any one page. Create SEO friendly URLs. Now try to use proper English terms in your HTML documents as the name of your HTML documents. Now, automatically generated query strings are not liked by search engines, so try to keep your web pages, the names of your web pages, as close to English as possible. Now try to get inbound links to all the pages on your website. Do not just try to get inbound links to your index or main page. Internal pages are as important as your index page. So to get a high ranking for your inner pages as well, you need to have links to your inner pages. Change the title and description if it is unique on every page. Now, I have seen a lot of websites that have the same title and description on every single page that they have. That is not a good idea when trying to do search engine optimization. Each page should have a title and description which describes the contents of that particular page. Now, if you want to find out how many pages of your website are in Google's supplemental or secondary index, you can use this online free tool which is available at this given address. Okay, here's the website. It says Google Data Center supplemental page count for a site. So I'm going to scroll down, and where it says domain name, I'm going to enter the name of the website which I want to find out if it has any pages in Google supplemental index. I click the start button. Now this basically tests 43 unique data centers of Google and gives me the result from all of them. Now, as you can see that it is working on the various websites and coming up with the number of pages that are there in the supplemental index. Now some data centers say it's 110, some say it's 109, one says it's 107, and there's another 108, and there's 140 there as well. But generally they are around the 110 mark. So I'm just going to wait to let it finish, and then on the right hand side we see an average number of pages. So once this is complete, I will have a very good idea of how many of this website's pages are in Google's supplemental index. Okay, the testing is complete and it has come up with an average of 107 pages which are in Google's supplemental index, and 110 is the result from most of the data centers, but on average it is 107. I'm just going to check one of these results. I'm going to click on one of these IP addresses. So as you can see from the top here, it says results 100 to 110. So the total is 110. And as you can see, all of these pages are in the supplemental results. They are all from the same website, phones-info.net. Each page is different, but they are still coming up in the Google supplemental results. So this needs to be fixed very quickly. Now some facts about supplemental results is that if you see your pages come up in supplemental results, well, you are being crawled. It's not like Google is not coming to your website. Supplemental doesn't mean that your site is being penalized. What it only means is that you are not in the main index and you need to take action to get out of the supplemental index and back into the main index, because that is where Google looks at when people search for keywords. You can, of course, resubmit a sitemap to Google after updating your site, and that will help your website get out of the supplemental index. And one thing to note here is that Google does not index supplemental pages that often. So once you have made changes to the pages or made any corrections to the pages that were coming up in the supplemental results, you need to be patient and you need to wait for Google to come and reindex the supplemental pages and hopefully put them back in the main index. You should try to work on your backlinks and try to get more backlinks to your pages to get them out of the supplemental index. Now, another new phenomenon that has been added to the internet recently is RSS feeds, really simple syndication feeds. Now, RSS is basically a family of web feed formats used to publish frequently updated digital content such as blogs, news feeds, or podcasts. Users of RSS content use programs which are called feed readers or aggregators. Now what the user does is they subscribe to the feed by supplying the reader with a link to the feed. Then the reader can check the subscribed feeds to see if any of these feeds have any new content added to them. And if it finds any new content, it retrieves that content and it presents it to the user. The advantages of RSS feeds are that people get the latest news and information. Search engine bots find new information and your website gets attention. Because your website has new information, search engine thinks it's important and index it and maybe put it higher in their results. Now, it is important to put a keyword targeted feed on your website. That will greatly enhance your ability to achieve optimum keyword density for the terms that you want to target. Now, assuming that relevant content is available, fresh content is available, a news feed is much more preferable to a search engine feed because of the simple reason that news feeds are updated more frequently. Okay, let's have a look at an RSS feed here. Now, I have subscribed to the BBC News Service RSS feed. Now, if I click this button here, it shows me the pages that have been most recently added to the website. Now, I can add this feed on my page and then users can go to the actual content through my website. So these are some of the more advanced search engine techniques employed at the moment.